There, this is Art and Such. I'm going to make my Fiona video for you again. So this is how to do Fiona from Shrek on the rainbow loom. I'm going to make it a little differently. I'm not going to add the extensions on the chest this time, although I will explain how those can be done for those who are interested. You will be needing a rainbow loom set in the offset position with your middle row raised above the others. You're going to need some dark green for the dress, or purple if you want her other dress, light green for the skin tone, yellow for the belt if you are so inclined, and black for the eyes. You might want to have a holding hook on hand as well. I should make note of that. We're going to start with the body. So let's begin here. We're going to do skin tone, going down once with 2 bands. Take 2 bands and go from the second peg on the center to the second peg on the side, and repeat that on the other side. We're going to do some dark green. We'll go down 3 times. So 3 on one side, 3 on your far side, and about 3 down the middle as well. And that will go from your second peg to your third peg, another 2 bands from your third peg to your fourth peg, and from your fourth peg to your fifth peg. Now we're going to add the belt. So for that you'll put a single yellow on each of your next set of pegs. These are going to be your 5th pegs to your 6th peg for each of your rows. But we're only going to do a single because now we can put a green on top, and you can see that allows it to blend in a little bit. If you don't care for that effect, you can leave it all green, and you can even add just a band or 2 of yellow when you're done. From here all the way to the end of the loom, we're going to be using sets of double greens and just going from each peg to the next for all of our rows. So as I say, you're going to need a lot of green for this project, but the effect is pretty cool. We'll do our middle row. It doesn't matter which order you do them in, as long as you get all of these pegs covered and as long as you're moving downwards away from your arrow. And lastly, we can do a series of double sets coming down our far side. Okay, let's make some arms. You're going to need a skin tone band. We'll wrap that about 3 times onto your hook, and it can go onto a double or a pair of green singles. Then we're switching to dress color, and we're going to do this 4 times. 2 onto the end of your hook, bring the other bands over. I think we lost one here. Yeah. Okay. We're going to do this 4 times. If you want her arms to be a little shorter and stubbier, you'll use fewer pairs, and if you want a longer look, you'll use more. And if you want her arms to look a little bit tighter, you have the option of doubling over single bands instead of using double bands. Now there are a couple of ways of making the extension. I'll show you first how you can make the one for the chest if you're interested in the broad look. So for that, you'll take a single band, loop it twice on your hook, put it onto another set of single bands, and repeat that as many times as you want. It really depends how far you want your extension to go. So if I wanted my piece to be broader from the second peg to the fourth peg, then I would make sure I had 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of loops happening here. And when you're ready, what you would do next is place this on the peg where you'd like to add that breadth, and you'll just pull out bands from each of these sets and put them on top of the side pegs going down. And this culminates with your first cap bands, which would go onto the last. So that's how you can create an extension for the side. I'm not going to do anything to make it thicker otherwise this time, but we will make an extension for the bottom part. And I'm just going to grab another loom here. If you want, you can use the same method I just showed you and create sets of loops and stretch them out. This form of the extension will integrate a little better onto your body design. So to make this kind of extension, we need to make 7 sets. We're going to do 1 set of two singles, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This can be done on an offset loom or a straight loom, I should mention. The difference would be in this next part, because you'll need to start at the bottom and stretch your band across. If you're doing it on an offset, you'll want to bring your bands downwards or upwards to the middle. Just on this straight configuration, I'm just going to put my bands to the side, and these loops are going to fit on top of the body bands as caps, and also these pieces are going to make the dress look a little bit bigger. We're going to do this up until the second last peg that we used. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then we can start looping up. To do that, we go underneath that bottommost set of bands, and we're just going to loop up the first column, our side column, getting under those caps, bringing those bands up. If you are doing an extension, as I will be adding onto mine, you are going to need to make a second one of these, and you're also going to need to make a second arm. So we're going to give you a chance to get caught up right away. But let's just see, this is what you should have. And you're going to pull your side bands off. Try and keep them a little bit loose if you can. And hold on to those top 2 bands. You can put them on your hook. Remove this from your loom. Looks really scraggly, but it's okay. We're going to add it on. We're going to add it 7 from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe we'll do it a little bit higher. 7, 8, 9. 9. We can do it 9 because we have that bottom 2 loops and we have our top where we added it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is your 5th peg from the top. We'll put those top 2 over. And then you're going to start reaching in and finding those hoops that we just made, those little loops. So you'll grab the first 2, stretch it out, bring it to the band beneath and to the center band next to that. And you'll find the next set. Some of them will be easier to find than others, and some are going to take a little bit of digging, but it's okay. It's not terrible if you have the wrong order, but you'll do your best to keep it even so that you get a really cool effect after. We're going to do this right to the bottom of our loom. And you're going to use those very last two to stretch across the bottom couple. Okay. Just make sure you have 2 on each set of pegs here. And I'm going to let you make your other extension on your other arm. I will see you for part 2.